Welcome to this HelloID webinar brought to you by Tools Forever. Today we'd like to give you an overview of the new functionality in HelloID. We encourage you to ask questions. You can do this via the WebEx chat option. You can find the option here. At the end of the demonstration, your questions will be answered. I'd like to turn this over to Cheered Sign-In, HelloID Product Manager. He will explain and demonstrate the new HelloID functionality. Enjoy, and don't forget to post the questions.
Jamie, thank you for the introduction again. Everybody welcome for this first webinar in 2020. And again, as you're already familiar, I think, is that I will run you through a PowerPoint sheet with the new functionalities we have released last Sunday. And then I will demo you the new functionality. So first, let me start with service automation. And these are the smaller ones. There are some small and some big changes in here, and this is one of the smallest. Now you can select an agent pool where the delegated form needs to be executed upon. We also have the option now to search in a grid. That is on this client side. We also have defined global variables for the current date and time. I will show you where you can find them. We have the option to rename tasks. It's easier for now because most commonly is the PowerShell is being used, but now you have able to rename the PowerShell name, and it's easier for auditing information. So it's easy to recognize where the command is coming from. You can also have more flexibility in the summarization form after you have finished all the, for example, a wizard in a form. You can say which components should be visible or not on the summary page. And we have a show icon in the password field, so an end user can see which password he has typed. Okay, provisioning. This is the improvement of the Exchange. It has to do with the number of sessions, and we have optimized that, so now it's a lot quicker. Hold on. I think this is an important one. Now you can set the manager on the target system. That is relevant for the AD user, and per AD user can set the manage by field. So it's easier for the manager. You can easily see who he is responsible for, because that information is also being used in service automation. Again, I will show you this functionality. And this is the big one. This is a big achievement. Now we have PowerShell on-premise source connector. Next month, in February, we will release the target system. And then you have complete freedom on systems that you connect as a source and as a target from and to HelloID. I think very powerful. Again, I'm mentioning this every month and also in the videos. You can try this yourself. You need to request it because it is available. We have turned it off, so you need to turn it on for your own portal. It is available in preview and production, and this is not really true anymore. This used to be true, but I think it just happened for me last week, the last time. So this is not really available. So configuration will not be cleared anymore, at least definitely not in production, of course. Okay, last one for access management. 2 items. Out, if I pronounce it correctly. That's a standard for integration with hardware tokens, like you are probably familiar with, like Gemalto, SafeNet, RSA, those hardcore devices that you can use to authenticate yourself. Just click a button. It's OTP, and it's based on the time window that you generate the code. I will demo you this straight after this PowerPoint. And we also have made a change in the OpenID connection, and we sent the subject types supported. Very technical one. Definitely not going to demo this new functionality. So let's go. Let's demo this new functionalities to you. So let me first start with the service automation. Log in as an administrator, and I will show you how you can change the agent pool on a form. Let me go to the delegated forms. just choose the first one. And here you can see that I can choose a directory configuration. So I can choose this one, and if you look in the configurations, I can see here that there is an agent pool connected to that configuration. So in this way you can set which agent pool is being used by executing the actions in this task. A relatively simple change. Another one is that you have the grid box. Let's do the group membership and show you that I use this form. So let me go to the forms. Subservice forms. So I need to go to this one. And here is the multi-select. And basically what you can say, I can turn on and off the filter and to search for a user. So, or actually group memberships in this, of course, in this particular example. So these are the group memberships. Now there is no filter, no search, and here I can turn it on. And in a minute I will also show you what the effect is on the form itself. We also have global variables. So if you go to the variable sections, we included these one, the time and the time zone. It's a time now. That's basically what is being entered as a standard variable. Let me see, you can also rename a task now. If you go back to the dedicated forms, and you have a task here. Now it's being labeled as a custom PowerShell script. It was rather confusing. If you look in the request history, you cannot really see what happened. So now you can say I want to change that name in a more understandable name. So this is I think it's the reset password script. So I can just give it a better name. It's just easier for seeing what the script is actually doing. You can also hide elements from the form. So let me go to an example form. Let me log in as my manager. I'm here Atkinson. Search desk. Search for a user. Let's search for myself. Go to the form. Here you can see that you can actually filter now on this multi-select grid box. So let me search. So it filters out the groups with access in it. And so I can still add a group to be member of Fortiet. If I select finish, I get a summary of the fields I have been using in my form, and this is also an option that you can start hiding or controlling how these fields are being shown. And let me make change to the configuration. Go to the form, and the name of the form is group. And here you have the options now to show and hide completely. So I like to hide the value or hide the element. So I'm not really cared on which field I have been searching upon. The selected user might be interesting. This is not really interesting, so I can hide this. I can hide this as well, etc., etc. So these are the. So now I'm actually making changes to the summary of that form. So if I can go in here again, search for the same user for myself. select the user. If it's going to be found, yep. And actually make the same change I just made. To search the groups, access, add a group. And now you can see that I only select the user, the group membership, so it's a little bit more cleaner, and you can more restrict or control what's being shown in your summary. I think the last thing for service automation, because I think I showed you everything, is the show password icon. Really simple. Let me show this briefly and then I continue. Okay, use password. Of course I need to use this one because the password is being used in this one. Search for myself again. Select the user. Here it is. So if I type in test, yeah, so you can see that I have been typing test. Okay, this is for service automation. Let me continue with access management. And the thing I really like to show you is the out integration. And that is the option now that we can use a hardware token. And I can show you in the camera. So let me turn on the camera, and this is the token. So this is not made by, of course, by Tool7. This is just a public available token. The price is really good. It's IP67, so it's waterproof and shock resistant. And I think the price is 15 euros. And of course, we support a lot of different types of tokens, as long as they support the out token protocol. So let me go to the admin portal, because you need to make this available. You have to go to security, two-factor management, and here you have a new option. You have to import out tokens. So this is the new option. So if I turn this on, I can, as an end user, can use that token, and I will show you again in a minute, to use as an authentication to get access to the portal. So let me go back. Oh, no, of course I need to import that. And I have a file here that I already prepared for this demo. If this is the file, so you have, has a particular format, of course that's on the documentation page, but these are the users that are going to be connected to a particular device with a security key. But let me import that, and now these users are connected to this token. And I will log in as Tjeerd Seinen and show you that I will work with that new token. So go to Tjeerd Seinen, log in again, and now I will get the option to have a two-factor device, and I have multiple devices available, and this is the one that we have added. This is the token C301. This is of course my demo device. That is this device here. So let me use that one, and of course I have to click on, let me make the camera a little bit more visible for myself. Yeah, and here I can generate a key, a secret key. So I need to use this this number, and I need to hurry up a little bit. 63854, and now I'm authenticated using use this little device. I think very interesting functionality, and of course this I think I showed you already before, but I have a security overview, so I can use which factor I actually used. No second factors used. Here I use the second factor, and now I have the option to remove the second factor from my as my security key, so I can remove that myself. It used to be only available for the admin,
Then we added the API, so you can do it via the API, perhaps delegated to a manager. But now, as an end user, I can also have the option to remove a two-factor from my user account. Okay, thank you for this. Let me go to the last subject, and that is the last module, provisioning. I'm not going to show you the improvement of Exchange, because that is not really that much interesting to see. We improved it by using a more efficient way to use the sessions. I will show you the manager. Let me go here. And this works very nice right now. So I have managed users. And if I create a new user via the provisioning process, I will show you that it will pop up for this manager. So let me go briefly or actually quickly through that process. First, let me shut off the camera. There you go. And so let me go to the provisioning process. And I will create a new user, and I do that in the HR system. Use an English version. And I need to check if Braswell is already available. IJsbrand, name of my son. That one is not available, so I will create IJsbrand as the name of my son. A bit unprofessional, I would say, but okay, I'm not that creative today. He will be a member of the ICT department. Manager will be Amir, so he will be in scope for the manager I was just in the self-service portal. Go to, I will find two, but this is IJsbrand, name of my son. Make sure that indeed Amir Atkinson is the manager. The rest is all okay. Good. Everything is set now, and I can go to the provisioning section, source system. Wait a little bit until it is available. You're right. 58 people. Start the import. It will go to 59 because I have created, of course, a new user, IJsbrand Seinen, on the ICT department, working for Amir Atkinson. Actually, a lot more new people. That's interesting, but I definitely need to find. So I think in the meantime, some other people have joined the HR system, but I'm primarily interested in this person, of course, IJsbrand Seinen. And he has some entitlements, but he has also a manager. And now the manager must be set in the Active Directory. So let me go here, re-log in for the manager. Use a simpler mechanism. Touching the key. Going to manage users, searching for IJsbrand. Oh, of course, I don't need. And here it is. Now it is in scope of the manager. And I think the really proof, of course, is going to my domain controller, because it's an on-prem Active Directory. Search for IJsbrand and organization, and here admin Atkinson. So this, of course, basically the same overview as you see here, where Amir Atkinson is responsible for IJsbrand Seinen. I think by far the most powerful option now is that you can create any source system as an input. Let's go back to the provisioning engine and go to the dashboard. In the source system section, we have a new option. So if I click on add, you're not going to see the PowerShell import connector because it's not turned on for my production environment. That could be very well for the same for you, but of course it's a toggle. You need to request that at iSupport@toolsrev.com. So I need to switch over to my preview environment where it is available. So let me log in my preview environment, go to the provisioning section, source system, and click on add. Now it is available. So it is turned on for my preview environment. So excuse me for that, not in my production. Same for you, it is available in preview and production, but it is behind a toggle. So you need to send a request to iSupport@toolsrev.com to have it turned on for your portal. So let me show you how this works. I can actually, I will remove this one first. Add, and I can just do click next, next, next. And it has a little bit of pre-configuration available. So let me save it, go back to the source system, and if I start the import, it will start to import one demo user, and it will show right here over here. Takes a little bit of a second. This is the demo person, and that is actually in here. So this is only one person, it's hard coded, and I can say, okay, suppose I want to change this to myself. I can make modifications, but this really doesn't really make that much sense. So this is just to show you that it will work. Go to save, re-import, and then you will see that this demo information will be updated to the modifications I just made. So this one is really, really simple, but I also prepared a more complex one that you can import data from a CSV file. And I have already prepared this in my virtual machine. So let me go here and to the same section. And now I'm going to edit the definition of the PowerShell import connector. And here, this is the input data. It's the person data and contract data. And I have two CSV files, one with person data, just 5 people, also some contract data, and I have a PowerShell script to do that import. So it's actually reading information from this CSV file, contract information, and joining this together and write this into the vault. So let me copy paste this information into the PowerShell script. PowerShell script section. There we go. Click on save. Re-import, and then you will see, of course, more data right here. And that's the data from that CSV file. You can make modifications to the CSV file, and then you will see that it will show up. But before I do that, I will also make a definition of the header file that is coming from the person and from the contact information. And in a later version, this will be automated. So we read out the column headers of the CSV file and automatically set them as headers, and that you can make that to the vault. So I have external and display name as a person. So I have two options here, display name and external. So these are these two. And of course, what I want to do here is I want to map, because this is HelloID vault fields. Of course, I want to map these to data from the CSV file. There's a lot more headers, as you just saw here, a lot more header information, and I want to have that available right here. And it's only two, and a lot more columns. So I already prepared that as well. So basically what I did is I converted the header of the CSV file into a header JSON format. That's this one. So these are all the columns in the CSV file, and I think in later versions this will definitely be automated. So I still have to do this now by hand. So this is the person information, and I also prepared the contract information. Contract header. So this is person, this is contract. Switch back. There we go. So do save, import again, and then the mapping of the header should be available. And it will map some fields, make a modification to the CSV file, and again, there is I think there's a lot more to it, but then you have I would say a quite in-depth overview of what we can do with the CSV connector. So here, let me show you that you have more fields available for mapping. So I can say I'd like to have, I think, last name. That's it. And here I can say his first name. Or I think it's better, I think there's also a nickname available. That's better. There we go. And also for the contract information, there's also more fields available on the information I just made available in this section. All right, so I changed 2 fields. Next name to, I think I need to save it. There we go. And this is last name. Good. Let's save it. And do re-import. And now it should also map the last name and the first name. I will show you in the person fold that information will be showing up, and then I will change the CSV file. So here you can see that the family and nickname is being edited. So Ahmed J. So let me make a modification to this person. Person CSV file, Ahmed J. And I will change the nickname. Let me do it like that. So, save, do a re-import, and then Ahmed should be Paul Ahmed. This is the display name, that's not being changed. Ahmed, there it is. Paul. So a small modification to the CSV file represents immediately an effect in the vault. Okay, I would say, excuse me a little bit for the complicated demo, but there's more insight on the source PowerShell connector. Okay, so this is the end of the webinar. Thank you for your attention. I see there are some questions. Jamie, can you please ask the questions for me? Thank you already.
Yes, Cheered, thank you for that. First question, how do I configure the management option in provisioning?
Yeah, how you configure the manager. I think you're correct. I did not show that. It is in provisioning. So going to the right section, target system, and it is here. So you need to toggle these options. You can also update and only on first creation, but you need to set this on if you want to update the manager attribute managed by of an end user in this example, the Active Directory. Okay, thank you. Do you have the next question for me?
Can I read CSV data via the PowerShell input connector?
Can I read CSV file via PowerShell input connector? Yeah, I think you asked this question in the beginning of the presentation. Yes, you can. I actually showed this in a lot of detail. And the last question.
Is the performance for service automation going to be optimized? Today looks rather slow.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the performance is the performance of service automation is not so good today, and we definitely putting a lot of effort in trying to get this to improve this a lot more. Okay, thank you for your questions. Thank you for your attention to this webinar, and hopefully I can see you all in a month from now after the February release. Okay. Thank you and bye-bye.